Hello children, today we are going to do the chapter from theme D, that is governance and democracy. The name of the chapter is family and community. What is community? All of us live in a family. When many families live together in a place, it is called a neighborhood. Similarly, many neighborhoods living together, helping and cooperating with each other forms a community. A community is very important for us. We are social animals. We cannot live alone. We need help from each other to fulfill our needs. We can fulfill all our needs only in a community. Our life becomes easier and comfortable when we live in a community. Families are connected not only within themselves but also with other families and the people around them. Such a group of connected people may be called a community. There are other meanings for community depending on the context. Members of a community come together for various reasons like celebrating festivals and organizing feasts, weddings and other events. In some villages, people come together to support each other with agricultural practices like land preparation, sowing and harvesting. Over time, communities often agreed upon some practices on the use of shared natural wealth and resources such as water, grazing lands and forest produce. This is the case with many tribal communities. To some extent, this remains the case in village communities in rural India today. Such practices, we may call them rules, though they were rarely written down, have provided communities a secure access to resources. So now, let me tell you how a community fulfills our needs. People of different occupations like farmers, doctors, tailors, teachers, cobblers, engineers, laborers, etc. live in a community. Doctors treat us when we are sick. Farmers grow crops and provide food for us. Tailors make our uniforms. Cobblers make shoes for us, whereas teachers give us education. It is not possible to do all these tasks by ourselves. We feel more secured in a community than living one. So the community plays an important role in our daily life. Culture, art, music, literature, etc. to develop in a community. Language, attitude and behaviors of the children are greatly influenced by the community and its environment. So a community plays a vital role in shaping the mind of the children also. A community is also necessary to protect our interests and rights. The government might not pay much attention to an individual's demand, but when the same demands are made by a community, the government has to take action towards fulfilling those demands. Thus, we can protect our rights and interests through a community. This helps to unite the people in a community too. They automatically develop a feeling of we instead of I while living in a community. And many communities, different communities living together, cooperating with each other to achieve a common goal, it is called society. Society is formed on the basis of geography, religion, culture, etc. Such practices, we may call them rules, though they were rarely written down, have provided communities a secure access to resources. But it also means that all families and individuals within the community have specific duties to perform, otherwise the community will not function smoothly. Some example of communities are given here. Year after year, the region around the town of Jhabua in Madhya Pradesh suffered from an acute water crisis. Following their halma, see, the picture of halma is giving here. It is given here. This is halma. Following their halma tradition of coming together to support any individual or family in times of crisis, the Bhil community decided to plant thousands of trees in hundreds of villages. So the halma tradition of the forest dwellers is unique. It gives the message of help to a person in distress. Halma means call for help. Halma means call for help has been a traditional practice among the Bhil community. The Bhil tribe is the oldest tribe of India and keeping its traditions alive. Bhil is the third largest tribal community in India. Bhil community is not only a part of Madhya Pradesh. Bhil community is also the part of Rajasthan, Maharashtra. The Bhil community of Madhya Pradesh is keeping its tradition alive like other Bhil communities. Even today, the cultural tradition of the Bhils of Madhya Pradesh is expressed in their religious rites, their songs and dances, their community gods and goddesses, skin tattoos, mythology and style. Their homes reveal an innate sense of aesthetics. Even today, there are many indigenous ways of living in the tribal society of India, which can solve various problems arising due to development in the present time. One of them is the halma tradition of the Bhil tribe. Halma has played a big role in mitigating the water crisis in large parts of Jhabua district. This tradition of the Bhil community is a unique example of the technological richness of indigenous disciplines. Such practices or traditions of mutual community cooperation exist in tribal tribes by names like Halma, Handa and Hida, and are also mentioned in folk literature, but over time they disappeared. Significantly, there is a tradition of help in the Halma Bhil society. When a person or family is not able to overcome the crisis even after their best efforts, then all the rural brothers and sisters gather to help him and bring him out of trouble with their selfless effort. It is such a deep and generous tradition in which help is given to the person in distress, but no favor is expressed or accepted by both the parties. This tradition of mutual cooperation and support shows how each other's strength is made in the society. No one is left alone in the middle of the stream, rather he is connected to the mainstream of the society with sincere help. So children, I have just explained about the halma, what is halma, and the Bhil community. Okay. The Bhils also dug many trenches to conserve rainwater and created other water harvesting structures. They did not get paid for this work but did it as their duty towards their community and the environment. In the Halma tradition, the objective is to serve Mother Earth. In 2019, Sri Mahesh Sharma of the Shiv Ganga movement was honored with the Padma Shri award for his transformational work with the Bhil communities. During the Chennai floods of 2015, roads turned to rivers and people could no longer move around. Almost all shops were closed and services interrupted. Many private groups, in particular spiritual and religious organizations, cooked large quantities of food and distributed it to people who needed it. This is also example of the community. There are many more such examples of people coming together to do something for the benefit of the community without expecting anything in return. Have you heard of any? The real life stories above illustrate community in a rural context. Community is also present in an urban context, although it may function a little differently. Let us see an example from another real life story. More than 20 years ago, in an area of Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Kamal Parmar, owner of a small auto fabrication workshop. More than 20 years ago, in an area of Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Kamal Parmar, owner of a small auto fabrication workshop. Auto fabrication is the process of creating or repairing body parts and components for cars in the automobile industry. Okay. Notice the group of underprivileged children on the street. Some had dropped out of school while others had never been to school. Kamal started giving them tuition from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. every day after his regular work hours. He also provided the kids with a free dinner. Soon 150 children were attending those classes regularly and were deeply interested in the lessons. A few teachers from a local school noticed the classes and joined the teaching for a while. One of them observed, these children don't get proper benches to sit on, have no silence zone classrooms, and the vehicles passing by make lots of noise, yet they pay all their attention to what the teachers tell them. This touched my heart. The love and affection I got from them was unbelievable. Some older children who were attending regular schools also joined as volunteers to teach in Kamal's classes. One of them remarked, "We went there to teach. Instead, we learnt a lot from them." So children, this is an example of socio-economic activity. The goal of Mr. Parmar is to support and uplift these children through education. New types of communities have also emerged in the last 30 or 40 years. Residents' welfare associations in many urban areas are examples of communities that make their own rules and regulations. Those could be rules about waste management, cleanliness of common areas, taking care of pets, and so on. People living in the community participate in making such rules and regulations. Communities are ultimately interdependent. The same residents' welfare associations, for instance, will depend on the trading community for supplies and also on municipal workers to handle waste. In our complex societies, everyone depends on a number of other people and communities. Then what we learn from this community part? Community is very important to fulfill the needs of each another, to fulfill secured and protected. So children, what we learned now? We learned that community is very important part of our life. It is important to fulfill the needs of each another, to fulfill secured and protected, to preserve and promote traditions, norms and values, to work for individual and collective welfare, to develop collective feeling, interrelationship and cooperation, to achieve the goals of our lives. Okay children, thank you. I have completed the community part. If you have any doubt, just comment me in the comment box.